The first OTT outing of Korea's representative handsome actors, The Wait is Different. Disney's ambitious original series Made in Korea has finally been unveiled. The biggest reason this work garnered tremendous buzz even before its release is undoubtedly the casting. Two pillars supporting the Korean film industry, Hyun and Jung Woo-sung, have stepped up as protagonists, heralding a sparking acting showdown. An interesting point is that for both actors, this work marks their first OTT drama appearance since their debut. The fact that actors with overwhelming auras who could usually only be seen on the silver screen have entered the small screen of the home theater provides a fresh and exciting experience for viewers. Just the weight of what kind of charm this first OTT series chosen by these tycoons holds seems reason enough to binge-watch. Historical summoning. Intertwined with Netflix's Good News, reinterpretation of the Yotago hijacking incident. The most interesting point while watching the early part of the drama was the strange connection with the movie Good News, which was recently released on Netflix. This is because both works deal with the Yotago hijacking incident, Red Army faction hijacking incident that shook South Korea in the 1970s as a major subject. Comparing how two contents released around the same time interpreted and directed the same historical event differently is another viewing point. If Good News focused on the urgency of the event itself, Made in Korea uses this event as a device to show the boldness and wit of the protagonist Baek Gi-tae, played by Hyun, and as an intense opening to show how he operated in the shadows of power as a KCIA agent. Thanks to this, a forgotten past event has been vividly summoned again for viewers in 2024. A beast wearing the mask of a businessman, Baek Gi-tae's double life Baek Gi-tae, played by Hyun, pleasantly betrays viewers' expectations from his first appearance. Dressed in a neat suit and speaking fluent foreign languages, he appeared to be a businessman engaged in export-related businesses, but he is actually a figure wielding immense power as the chief of the information division at the KCIA. To viewers who mistook him for a passionate trading company, man simply exporting Korean products because of the title Made in Korea, the fact that the item he handles is none other than drugs comes as a fresh shock. His appearance of boarding the plane with the Red Army faction to resolve the crisis with drugs, rescuing the passengers while securing his own interests, announces the birth of a beast bundled with desire, where the boundary between good and evil is ambiguous. Expansion of the Woo Min-ho universe, Shadows of the 1970s, connected to the Drug King. This drama was directed by Woo Min-ho, who directed the films Inside Men, The Man Standing Next, and The Drug King. Perhaps because of this, the scent of his previous work, The Drug King, permeates heavily throughout the drama. It is set against the backdrop of the 1970s, a time when Japan launched a massive crackdown on Philippine methamphetamine, causing displaced Korean-Japanese technicians and Yakuza capital to flow into Korea, manufacturing drugs based in Busan and re-exporting them back to Japan. Lines or settings like the Japanese guys made all the meth, and now they're cracking down and pushing it onto us are based on actual historical facts. Director Woo Min-ho vividly depicts human endless greed and thirst for power through the medium of drugs against the backdrop of this barbaric era. Justice over promotion, the bulldog prosecutor. Jang Gaeon-young, who knows no compromise. Standing at the opposite point of the beast-like Baek Gi-tae is the Special Investigation Division prosecutor, Jang Gaeon-young, played by Jung Woo-sung. Active in the Busan District Prosecutor's Office, he is a figure who remains a rank-and-file prosecutor while his peers are on a roll and getting promoted. It is not because he lacks ability. It is because of his stubborn nature that pays no heed to the higher-ups, power, or customs, and clings only to the essence of the case and the eradication of crime. His aggressive investigation method of rushing in without calculating the consequences is treated as a nuisance within the organization, but to the viewers he approaches as a cider-refreshing existence that pierces through the frustrating reality. Jung Woo-sung heavily expresses the conviction of Jang Gaeon-young, who knows no compromise with his unique thick acting tone. Two men entangled by drugs, head-on collision of desire and conviction. KCIA agent Baek Gi-tae and prosecutor Jang Gaeon-young, who seem to have no point of contact, become entangled like fate, or rather an ill-fated relationship, through the link of drugs. For Baek Gi-tae, drugs are not simply a means of making money. He harbors the ambition to accumulate greater wealth through drug funds and use it as a stepping stone to stand at the pinnacle of power in South Korea. To this end, he tries to recruit Korean drug manufacturing organizations and form a huge cartel. On the other hand, for Jang Gaeon-young, drugs are a social evil that must be rooted out. As Baek Gi-tae is caught on the radar of Jang Gaeon-young, who was persistently tracking down drug organizations to wipe them out, an inevitable war between the two men begins. 1970s, uncovering the flip side of Made in Korea. The drama does not stop at being an investigation drama simply chasing drug crimes. Penetrating the turbulent period of the 1970s, it illuminates the dark side of South Korea hidden under the slogan, "Let's live well." It satirizes an era where moral hazard was rampant, such as power institutions colluding with criminal organizations under the pretext of economic growth, with the attitude that earning foreign currency by any means necessary was enough. The setting of manufacturing drugs in Korea and re-exporting them to Japan, and the intervention of Japanese Yakuza forces and Korean political power in the process, reflect the complex situation in Northeast Asia at the time and expand the scale of the play. The smell of fishy desire hidden behind flashy retro fashion and mise-en-scène is transmitted through the screen. Seo Onso Wonjian Cho Yo Jung, a feast of three-dimensional characters. The performance of the supporting actors who fill the play richly besides the two male protagonists is also impressive. Seo Yun-soo, who had mainly shown an innocent and elegant image, takes on the role of investigator Oh Ye-jin, presenting a drastic acting transformation that does not mind rough action and swearing, adding vitality to the play. Also, rookie Won Ji-yeon plays Choi Yu-ji, a lobbyist and a power player in the Japanese Yakuza organization, radiating a mysterious yet dangerous charm. Here, Cho Yo-jung playing the role of Bai Geum-ji, a madam of a Yojong high-end restaurant, plays a character with motifs from actual events such as the Jung In-suk murder case that were the center of political and financial scandals in the 1970s, increasing the reality and tension of the play. The narratives of these diverse female characters offer another fun element within the male-centered narrative. Young Woo-sung acting controversy, proof of class that makes it groundless. Immediately after the drama was released, there were some comments from some quarters that Young Woo-sung's acting tone was somewhat awkward or too forceful. However, personally, it is difficult to agree with this controversy. This is because the inner strength of an actor who has kept the position of a top star for decades does not disappear overnight. Young Woo-sung interpreted the stubbornness and roughness possessed by the character Jang Gaeon-young in his own style, and I believe that rough texture rather suited the appearance of a detective prosecutor in the 1970s well. Hyun Bin also balanced the center by perfectly digesting Baek Gi-tae, who has a double-sidedness of being sly yet cool. The acting of the two actors is not a matter of good or bad, but merely a realm of preference coming from differences in character interpretation. Their class remains valid. Season 1 is just the prologue. The real story is in Season 2. The currently released Made in Korea is Season 1, consisting of a total of 6 episodes. The story feels like it ended just as the stage was set. How far Baek Gi-tae's desire will extend, and whether Jang Gaeon-young can truly bring down the huge cartel of power, the real showdown seems set to unfold in earnest in the promised Season 2. Due to the somewhat short number of episodes, the development might feel urgent, but it also has the advantage of being able to enjoy it with a sense of speed without superfluity. For those who enjoy the retro atmosphere and noir sensibility of the 1970s and the passionate acting of the actors, the time waiting for Season 2 will never be boring. Attention is focused on what kind of ending this drama, which aimed precisely at the darkness of modern Korean history, will eventually reach.